Have you ever heard of the Frankish king who ruled from Paris, a warrior who expanded his kingdom, and a pious builder who left behind one of the most famous landmarks in the city? Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of Childebert I, a pivotal, yet often overlooked son of the legendary Clovis. Let's set the scene. The year is 511 AD. The great Frankish king, Clovis I, who united the Frankish tribes and converted to Christianity, has just passed away. His vast kingdom, a burgeoning powerhouse in post-Roman Gaul, is not passed to a single heir. Instead, following Frankish tradition, it's divided among his four sons, Theuderic, Clodomir, Childebert, and Clothar. Our protagonist, Childebert, then a young man, receives his share, the city of Paris, along with territory stretching north to the Somme River and west to the English Channel. From the very beginning, Paris was his capital, his power base, and the canvas on which he would paint his legacy. Now, you might think four brother kings would lead to a peaceful, cooperative rule. Well, you'd be wrong. The Merovingian dynasty was notorious for its family drama, and these four brothers were no exception. Ambition ran deep in their veins. While they sometimes cooperated against external enemies, they were just as often plotting against each other. Childebert was no shrinking violet in this regard. He was a key player in the intricate and often brutal politics of the time. One of the first major events of their reign was the campaign against the Kingdom of Burgundy. In 523, the brothers united their forces to attack their cousin, King Sigismund of Burgundy. The initial campaign was successful, and Sigismund was captured and later executed. However, Sigismund's brother, Godemar, rallied the Burgundian forces and, in the Battle of Vézérons, tragically defeated the Franks. Childebert's own brother, Clodomir, was killed in this battle. Clodomir's death created a power vacuum and a grim opportunity. Clodomir had three young sons who were the rightful heirs to his kingdom. But Childebert and his brother Clothar had other plans. In a chilling display of ruthlessness, they conspired to seize their deceased brother's lands. According to the historian Gregory of Tours, they sent a messenger to their mother, Queen Clotilde, with a pair of scissors and a sword, asking her whether she would prefer her grandsons to be shorn, thus losing their long Merovingian hair and right to rule, or to be killed. Clotilde, in her grief, supposedly replied that she would rather see them dead than disgraced. This gave Childebert and Clothar the pretext they needed. Two of the young boys were murdered, while the third, Clodoald, managed to escape and later became a monk, known to history as Saint Cloud. It's a dark chapter, but it reveals the cutthroat nature of Merovingian succession and Childebert's own ambition. With his share of his brother's kingdom secured, Childebert's gaze turned outward. The Franks were a military society, and a king's legitimacy often rested on his success in battle and his ability to provide his followers with plunder. Childebert was an active military leader, leading campaigns to expand his influence and his treasury. He launched several expeditions into Visigothic Spain. In 531, he campaigned against the Visigoths, and though he didn't conquer large territories, these raids were incredibly profitable. One of his most famous campaigns was in 542, when he and his brother Clothar invaded Spain again. They marched as far as Saragossa, besieging the city. While they ultimately failed to capture it, the expedition was far from a failure. On their way back, they acquired a precious relic, the tunic of Saint Vincent of Saragossa. Relics were immensely important in the medieval world, believed to hold spiritual power and confer prestige on their owner. For Childebert, this was a prize of immeasurable value. Upon his return to Paris, Childebert needed a fitting home for this holy artifact. This leads us to the other side of his personality, Childebert the pious builder. He wasn't just a warrior, he was also a devout Christian and a great patron of the church. To house the tunic of Saint Vincent, he ordered the construction of a magnificent basilica just outside the walls of Paris, on the south bank of the Seine. This church was initially dedicated to the Holy Cross and Saint Vincent. This wasn't just any church, it was a statement. The structure was lavish, adorned with gilded bronze, marble columns, and beautiful mosaics. It was meant to be a royal necropolis, a burial place for Merovingian kings, and a symbol of Childebert's power and piety. This very church would later be rededicated and become the Abbey of Saint-Germain-des-Prés, one of the oldest and most historically significant churches in all of Paris. If you visit Paris today, you can still see the Romanesque bell tower of this ancient abbey, a direct link back to Childebert I and his vision. He didn't stop there. He also founded other religious institutions, contributing to Paris's growing importance as a Christian center. His patronage helped solidify the alliance between the Frankish monarchy and the church, a relationship that had been central to Frankish power ever since his father Clovis's baptism. Throughout his long reign of 47 years, Childebert navigated the treacherous waters of Frankish politics. He allied with his brother Theuderic's son, Theudebert, against his other brother, Clothar. He outlived his brother Theuderic and his nephew, Theudebert, and for a time was the most powerful of the Frankish kings. He constantly schemed and fought to expand his kingdom of Paris, absorbing territories and consolidating his rule. However, despite all his efforts, ambitions, and long years on the throne, Childebert I died in 558 without a male heir. He had 2 daughters with his wife Ultragotha, but under Salic law, women could not inherit the throne. Upon his death, his entire kingdom, the kingdom he had fought so hard to build and expand, was inherited by his last surviving brother, Clothar I. For a brief period, Clothar reunited the entire Frankish realm under his single rule, just as their father Clovis had done. So, how should we remember Childebert I? He was a complex figure, a product of his violent and ambitious times. He was a ruthless politician who didn't hesitate to murder his own nephews for power. He was a relentless warrior who led armies into foreign lands in search of wealth and glory. But he was also a pious Christian king who used that wealth to build magnificent churches, leaving a permanent mark on the landscape and soul of Paris. His reign demonstrates the key themes of the Merovingian era: the constant struggle for power among family members, the importance of military success, and the deep intertwining relationship between the monarchy and the church. While his brother Clothar ultimately inherited his kingdom, Childebert's legacy endured. He solidified Paris as a royal capital and a major religious center. And every time someone walks past the ancient tower of Saint-Germain-des-Prés, they are walking past a monument to the ambition and piety of this forgotten Frankish king. He may not be as famous as his father, Clovis, or his later successor, Charlemagne, but Childebert I was a crucial bridge between them. He was a king who shaped the destiny of the Frankish kingdom and the future of one of the world's greatest cities. Thanks for joining me on this journey back to the Dark Ages. It's a fascinating period filled with incredible stories. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into history. Let me know in the comments which historical figure you'd like to see covered next. See you in the next video.